Tap, tap, tap in. 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 Tap, tap, tap in.
Hey everybody, it's the girl TC from the T. And it's welcome to Tap In Tuesday, everybody. It's welcome to Tap In Tuesday. And I am actually on location. Maybe I should go this way. I'm shooting on location today. That's right, I'm pre-recording because I have some things we need to get done today because we are in business mode, but I wanted to make sure that I did not cancel my show. And that was my thought. I have to be honest, I like to be transparent. I was actually going to cancel the show today because I was like, I can't, I wanted to go live and I had the perfect thought and the perfect plan initially. And then right, you already know how that goes when we are going through things and we think like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it this way. And then life happens and you think that like, oh my God, you start stressing and you say, wait a minute, I'm not going to stress. I'm just going to do what I can do. I'm going to do the best at what I do with what I can do. And you know how creative people are. We're very resilient. If that makes sense. We're very resilient. So I decided one today that I was going to just wing it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to use my space where I am. It's quiet. I got my own area. So I was just like, it's quiet. And so I said, let me take this time out because we're in different time zones as well. That's why another reason it has to be re-recorded because we have some things on our agenda this evening and it won't align with the timing with 8 o'clock Tap In Tuesday in Detroit. And so Eastern Standard Time because I'm on another time zone. So today's topic is stand for what you believe. And that's being held right there on the screen. You can hear it. You can see it. But I want to talk about standing for what you believe. Before we get into that, I do want to say that my thoughts and my prayers are with both sides of the people that are becoming casualties of this war that is turning into a war crime. It's flat out murder right now. It's not really a war. It's almost like a big old genocide, right? It's like you're leading the lamb to be slaughtered, right? If that makes sense. It's horrific, y'all. It's horrific. I know you know. And if you don't know, there is a journalist who does a lot that is really bringing it to its raw, uncut, uncensored, unfiltered, raw. When I say raw, so much so, some of the videos I wouldn't really what's the word? I wouldn't encourage deep empathetic people to watch it, to watch them because there's plenty of them since the war's been going on. But we can't act like we don't know. And when I say act like we don't know, we don't see it on channel 2, 4, and 7 and all the, CNN. We're not seeing these videos that you can see on Sean King's page. Now, if you go over on Instagram, Sean King, ShaunKing, he has over 4 million followers. His work is legitimate. He vets his people. He's not one of those people that just is going to share and then you realize like, oh, I got to redact that. I got to take that back. I got to retract it. No, he does his due diligence. He does his work. And so I was going to start sharing it, but my spirit was like, no, I don't need to be another platform to share it, but I can lead you to it so you can see it at your own. I will say the continuously need prayer, not just in this time, but every day. Um, we're living in a time that I can't really put my finger on it. I don't want to say we're living in perilous times. We're beyond that in my mind. It's gotten worse. A lot of things, out of sight, out of mind. The media not showing us that. 247 and all the local channels from whatever state you are in, you're not seeing what you would see on Sean King's page on Instagram. The videos from journalists who are living in the moment, who are over there right now. Over there right now. And one of his posts, and I DM'd him because whew, it moved me in a way that my heart, because I am an empath, so I was just like, my Lord, he said, I may not make it. And he went on to say things, but he is there. He's in the midst of the storm. He's in the midst of this chaos where he is witnessing, he's held infants in his arms that were lifeless. He's been right there as they tried to rescue children, men, women, boys, girls, as they're digging through rubble. And it was a lot to see, right? It was a lot to see. I can't even say everything I saw in those videos, and I cried each and every video because it was overwhelming. And so this afternoon, this evening, you would say, I want to tap in on the thought of saying, stand for what you believe. Okay? We're not going to always touch and agree. We're not. You have your right to think your way. I have my right to think my way. And then somewhere in the middle, I would hope we can find a common ground where we can say, listen, I have it this way, I see it this way. You have it that way, you see it that way. Where can we meet where we can both win? But when you deal with people who are evil, when you deal with people who hate you because of the color of your skin, who hate you because of the language you may speak, who hate you for the culture you may have been born into, who hate you for where you may have been born in the world, who hate you for your gender, who hate you for your thoughts. That's not there or not their way. What really gets me is how human beings can make a decision and say, you know what, let's annihilate this population. Let's annihilate this group of people because we think. We don't. Who are you? Who are you to decide? God created us all different. You got lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. Birds, eagles. They're in the same family, right? Horses, donkeys. They're in the same family, right? Insects that we don't even know why they exist. Because we all serve a purpose. We all bring something to the world. And to some, we become nuisance. I say that because I'm metaphorically thinking. You may shoo away a fly, shoo away bumblebees, gnats. They irritate you. You're trying to eat or you're trying to do something and they're just swarming it. You're like, I'm just going to kill them. When, how far back? This ain't a history class right now. It's not a history lesson, but we dig and we look for the time that we're looking at it like, oh, we've been doing this for years, centuries. But if you look back racism and all that, just genocide, just all these things. It just came back around. It's like a merry-go-round. You know how you sit on the merry-go-round and you go and watch this, right? You're going around and you come back around and you go around and you come back around. Out of sight, out of mind, but when you come back around, it's like, oh, I see it. And so in the time in which we live, death has always been present. It's gonna come. War is gonna come. Hate is gonna come. Love and unity is gonna come. He said it in his word, in the basic instruction before leaving earth manual, which is the Bible. Everything under the sun is happening around the world. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking because I literally am like, so if I speak my mind, if I have an opinion, you can hit me. On top of the way I may look, my height, my weight, my structure, whatever. Right? And then you look like, well, I don't, then it's like, it's a question, but it's not, because you know the answer. I don't have a right to be here. I don't have a right to stand firm for what I believe. See, when we say stand for what you believe, we look at it and we say, okay, we have the right to express our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts. We have a right to want better. We have a right to want equality. We have a right to fight for solidarity. We have a right as human beings. You see, I can't say this as an African American woman or as a woman. No, as a person. So if a man or woman in a Puerto Rico was sitting next to me and they felt the same way, they have the right. They have the right to believe. They have the right to voice their opinions. They have the right because God gives us freedom of choice, right? But mankind somewhere got it twisted, and they've decided at peaks and valleys that they'll decide to dictate what a good demographic of people can experience or what they have the right to have or they have a right to partake in. And it's not true because we're all human. We all have the desire to live a life that is full. You think, right? And so you look at it and you say, I'm going to stand for what I believe. I'm going to stand with the group of believers and people that says we have the right for this, we have the right for that. I'm going to stand on my faith. I'm going to stand on his word. Whatever that is, I'm going to stand for what's right. And then you could say, okay, well, what makes you right? Like the people that's at war, both sides might feel like, well, we're right. Anytime you are murdering children, infants, babies, kids, the elderly, who paved their way, they've lived long lives, and when you go to bed at night, you go to bed with the intention that I'm going to rise up tomorrow and it's going to be a great day. But then fathom the thought of someone's, right? The demise of not just you as a person, they're not singling you out. They'll say, this group of people don't deserve to rise. They don't deserve to live in moment war. Let's launch an attack. Let's start an all-out war. And now we play the blame game, you know. And then it's like, it gets back to living life, bringing me back to the subject at hand. Stand for what you believe. You're going to always in this life find yourself at a point where you're standing alone, whether it be in your family, whether it be in your school, whether it be on your job, whether it be in your community, whether it be in your organization, whether it be in your relationship with your significant other, spouse, partner, children, your child. You get the gist of it. You gotta stand for what you believe. But you also gotta understand that we're not always going to touch and agree. We're not always gonna say, you know what, I agree with you. No, that's what makes us unique. Sometimes we will. And that's amazing when we can. Amazing. But also, it's amazing when you don't agree. See, you have to know how to problem solve. You have to know how to negotiate. You have to know how to have a mindset that allows you to see it from your perspective, the other people's perspective, and then see where the common denominator should sit. And sometimes you're going to be downright right and they're going to be downright wrong sometimes. Now, sometimes. But then you could say, who dictates that, TT? Who says that I'm wrong? Who says that they're right? When we know, we've learned behaviors, right? We know right from wrong. We know if you see a fire, you don't put your hand in it, you're going to get burned. So there's certain things we know. There is no, well, if you put my hand in there, it might burn. It's going to burn, but it's going to burn a little bit. It ain't going to be as bad as if I hold my hand in there for a long time. Really, just don't do it. That's stupid. Why you want to suffer? Unless you like pain, then yeah, go ahead. But if you don't and you know that's wrong, then we're all going to stand in agreement that just you don't put your hand in fire, right? It's like teaching children, don't touch that. And you know how kids is, remember you would pop that hand and then they be looking at you like you don't see them. I'd be like, they be like, and you pop that hand, they be like, you be looking like you talk it out. You say, you know why? I had to pop your hand because you weren't listening. If you do, now you explain it to them because they need to know why they are not supposed to do. You don't just walk into someone's house without knocking. Even if they say, oh, whenever you come over, you ain't got to knock, just come on in. I still knock. And I've gotten that. I still, hey, when you pull up, that door's going to be unlocked. Just come on in. I'm still calling. And I'm going to say, hey, I'm about to pull up, I'm about to walk in. You know why? For those of us like myself that are carriers, what if somebody else decides they want to walk on in? I don't want you to have to wonder. I want you to know. You got people that will take what you think and what you believe and toss it and not even entertain it. Like, yeah, that's not going to work. No. It's like, can you hear my thought out complete? Can I complete my thought? Even if you hear it and you like, no, we're not. Can I complete the thought? Sorry, man, boy, girl, can I complete the thought, right? You think about when you stand in for what you believe, you got to also understand that sometimes you're going to be all alone. It could be a group of y'all. And y'all know individually you ain't had a conversation with him, you've had a conversation with her, you've had a conversation with them, and with her or him or them, they're like, you know what? Yeah, because so and so, so and so. But let somebody else come around that might have a little bit more power or more boisterous, then they will tend to say, well, I don't know. And then you're looking at them like, now I know we just had a conversation. And I know that we just touched and agreed on what you're saying. You now don't know. Because now to me, you're becoming double-minded. Like you just had a whole thought for yourself and touch and agreeing with me. But then again, now that you wishy-washy, I'm wondering, did you touch and agree with me just because you don't know how to formulate your own thought? Right? So you got to be bold enough and strong enough to say, well, earlier, because I'm one of them, well, earlier you agreed with me. Well, I didn't see it. That whatever they're going to justify it, it's all good. If you still believe what you believe, stand on it. Because I'm going to tell you what happens. A lot of times people want to follow the buffalo herd, right? And then they realize like, oh, that went right. And now they want to retract or they want to go back. And sometimes you can't go backwards. And for those that say, you know what, I'm going to be bold enough and I'm going to stand over here on my own. It's okay that you guys don't agree with me. It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go my own way. You got to be bold enough to do that. You all might want to go out to eat. Hey, where y'all want to go? What y'all in taste for? So you might say, well, I want some Japanese food. Nah, I don't eat that. I want like a burger. I'm in the mood for pasta. Okay. So unless we're going to go to different restaurants, here's the common denominator. Let's find a restaurant that has a broad menu that I can get, whether I can get Japanese food or Chinese food. It's similar, it's not the same, so no disrespect, but you get what I'm saying. Maybe I'm in the mood for sushi, and maybe I'm used to getting it from a Japanese restaurant, but I know I can get sushi from no. Well, no, it would be Japanese. If I had sushi, that's not a good one. Maybe, you get what I'm thinking of the menu like, because I'm hungry. But you can think of some things, but you get what I'm saying, okay? If you say I want a burger, you don't have to go to a burger joint. You go to a restaurant. Most restaurants serve burgers. What I'm saying is, y'all have to have a conversation, and let's touch and agree on a place we can go that would benefit us all. If you can't find nothing around and you don't want to go solo dolo, then you'll say, you know what? Well, let me find another option. What do they have? Now, if you can't get your Japanese Chinese food, because that'd be the most probably difficult to find in just a roundabout place, then you will say, okay, what else they got on there? Oh, you know what? I could go for fish and fries, or that's a whole jump, or I could go for something similar or whatever if your mouth is wanting it. But if you really want that Japanese food or that Chinese food, and where everybody said, oh, well, they don't got nothing around here, all these other ones have a big broad menu, but they don't have none of that, then you, my friend, either are going to go solo dolo, because that's what you want and that's your right to have it, or you're just going to say, you know what, I'll go with y'all and get something different. It's one of the two. See, in that case, there is no middle. Either you're going to settle for something else because you realize you don't want to really go by yourself. So you're going to go where everybody's going. Nobody else really wants exactly what you got, but they found different things they want. Somebody can find that burger. They can find that pasta. They can find pizza, whatever that looks like on this one place that has all those options. You would have to find, like, if you don't want to go solo dolo, you would have to find something that would mesh. So I use that metaphor because that's the best way. A lot of times when we want to go eat, it's like, oh my God, I got a taste for this. And it's like, oh, I got a taste for that. It's like, okay, we ain't going on. Okay, where's the common denominator? Like a beautiful restaurant that I would say you can get a lot of options and you can pretty much find something. There's two that I can tell you right off the top of my head. The Cheesecake Factory. And then I don't know if Yard House is in every state or every country. I don't even know if Cheesecake Factory is in every country. There's one in a lot of different states. There's a Yard House here in Michigan. I'm not in Michigan now, but there's a Yard House. So I don't know if that's a chain, but those are two restaurants I know for a fact have an extensive menu, and there's options galore. There's something for everybody. And it brings me to a thought, and I ain't gonna put it out there, but I had a brilliant idea that I shared with my husband a couple years ago when we entered COVID. And so I know the best person to share it with is a businessman who's a developer, and he's known to invest in restaurants and businesses. And I've always told myself, I'm going to tell him this because he's a good friend of mine. It's like a big brother. And I have yet to say it, but I said, you know what? If I was going to give that idea to anybody, it would be him, because I know he can make it happen. But saying all that to say metaphorically, when you stand on something and you're talking about expressing how you feel, everybody's not going to always come into agreement. That's when you got to say, you know what, I'm going to be my unique self, and I'm going to stand myself and put myself out there. And the more you do it, the more you will discover who you are, understanding your strength, that you don't have to be like everybody else, because you're not like everybody else. God made you amazing, and just individually and collectively, we all are amazing and just unique. That's a good word. We're unique. But you got to understand what that looks like to be on your own. You're not going to always be able to be with the people you're comfortable with. Sometimes on purpose, you got to be separated just so you can discover who you are and what you're supposed to do. Now, what does it mean to stand up for what you believe? I'm going to share this with you. Morals generally feel good. People with morals and values generally feel good about themselves, about their decisions. They tend to have high levels of self-esteem, and they feel confident in their judgment. And they're like, listen, I can do this with you or without you. I'd rather do it with you because teamwork makes the dream work. But if you can't, I respect it. See, they don't make you feel bad for you not agreeing. They don't make you feel bad for you wanting to stand out on your own. It's the people who are afraid to stand alone that go wishy-washy. Well, it's like, do you know what you want? It's like Coming to America when Eddie was trying to figure out if he was going to marry that woman in the beginning. And he was like, I want to get to know her. So, okay, he said, let me have a few minutes with her. And so it was against the culture, but they did it anyway. And so it was like, okay, what do you like? And she says, whatever you like. And he was like, yeah. No, I know what I like, but I want to know what you like. Then he proceeded, okay, what's your favorite color? My favorite color is whatever your color is. And, on and on and on. That wasn't one of the lines, but you get what I'm saying. How are you an individual if you got to stand on what everybody else thinking, stand on what everybody else is believing? You have to say, you know what, this is what I think, this is how I feel, and this is what I want to do, and stand on that thing. We sometimes as human beings get in the buffalo herd mentality mode, and we start to just follow everybody else. I'm going to do what everybody else is doing because I don't want to do this on my own. Y'all better learn how to be by yourself. You better learn how to navigate and say, you know what? I'm good enough to make this decision. And sometimes your decision is the one people going to run with. But if you are wishy-washy and you're indecisive and you're double-minded, people like, I'm not going to ask her. I'm not going to ask him because they don't really formulate thoughts on their own. It's always like, well, I would think this, but what do you want to do? And it's like, okay, but what do you want to do? It's like, no, what do you want to do? We want to know what you want to do. And so when you can't do it, it puts us in an awkward space. And you're like, just don't know how to stand on their own 2 feet. In relationships, it's a give and take. When you are a parent, your parenting skills, if you discipline and love on your children a certain way, then that's how you discipline and love on your children. You don't let someone else say, well, if I was you, hey, but you're not me. I don't say anything about how you're doing you. Don't try to tell me about what I'm doing. Unless I'm doing something that we know is wrong, don't worry about it. Do you? I'm going to do me. And we still going to agree that we love each other and keep it moving. But when you're not able to be responsible for your own thoughts, your own social and emotional needs and desires, that's where the problem comes in. Because you're not able to stand firm on what you believe. And you have the right to believe what you think, what you feel. Not always what you see, because people can put a facade out there. The devil is busy. People be in your face, be in your circle, whether it's your family or your friends, your classmate or your coworkers, okay? Your neighbors or strangers. People know how to be a certain way in your face and then be another way. It's when they're exposed is where that individualness needs to come in, because you know when you know. And you feel it, and you're like, yeah, something just ain't right. They showed you. And if you paid attention and you didn't let on that they showed you, you keep it moving. So I said all that this evening to say, stand for what you believe in. You are a beautiful soul, a beautiful person inside and out. Sometimes you might act ugly, and some of y'all might be ugly for real. But just know you weren't created that way. Some of y'all hearts are hard like steel, and some of your hearts are very fragile like an egg, right? Guard your mind and your spirit and your heart, but yet do what you know is best. Don't worry about what she think. Don't worry about what he think. Don't worry about what they think. Worry about what you know. Worry about what God told you. These little bangs is trying to do some other stuff. You ever had some feathers, ladies, and you be like, why is that girl keep pulling? Okay, anyway. But yeah, just own you. Be happy with who you are, with your thoughts. Somebody is waiting on you to share your thoughts that you think aren't really a big deal. They are. Someone is waiting for you to stand up for yourself. They've been waiting a long time. Give them what they want. And some of y'all need to back down and let other people make decisions so that they know that they're capable. See, when you become a crutch to another person, you're doing them all bad. If they can only depend and rely on you and your thought process, how are they going to survive without you if something happens to you? Because in real life, in reality, one of y'all going to leave this earth before the other one. It's inevitable, unless you leave at the same time. Other than that, one of y'all going to be left behind. You don't want to enable anybody, man, woman, boy, girl, spouse, significant other, child, children, grandma, grandpa, papa, mama, whatever. You don't want to make nobody have to depend on you for everything. They need to be self-sufficient. And not only be self-sufficient, they need to know that they are wise enough to be able to stand for what they believe in. So that's all I got for you on this Tap In Tuesday. Pre-recorded, yes it is, but it's amazing. This Saturday, this Sunday, sweet as the weekend, if you don't have tickets already, come out to the Michael Guido Theater in Dearborn, Michigan, if you're in Michigan, for the hit stage play Coming, He's Fine, But Is He Saved? Joshua Murray, Jewel Tankard, and Brumman from the Fifth Floor from Martin. I'm happy to say that I'm one of the stage managers along with two other amazing young ladies, stage managers. We have Rose Gates and Kimberly Joy, and together we collectively make the Lady Crew, dubbed ourselves TLC. This play has been written and produced by one of the most amazing female producers, writers that I've yet to meet in Michigan. Her name is Kimberly Brooks, and it's being directed by the one and only TJ Hemphill. So grab your tickets if you don't. They are $47 right now still. They will be slightly higher at the door. We still have a few VIP, and it's going to be something that when I tell you, you're going to be able to relate to a character. Sorry, I had an interrupting call. So sorry. So anyway, this Saturday, this Sunday in Michigan, if you're in Michigan, check out the show. He's Fine, But Is He Saved? It's your girl, TT from the D. And I'm going to close this show with one of Evra Cassidy's songs. I think I'm going to do Underappreciated, because sometimes we do feel underappreciated. And I think a lot of times we end up not doing what we know we can do. So we are appreciated. Whether somebody told you or not, I appreciate you. It's your girl, TT from the D, and I'll see you soon.
I'm feeling underappreciated. I'm feeling underappreciated. You think I ain't got nothing to be mad about? Or you be steady using my whole name for clout? I'm feeling underappreciated. Need you to understand how pissed off I really am. How dare you talk to me like that? I'm a grown-ass man. I work hard just like everyone else. And I stay humble, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I'm snitching on them. This song sneak dissing on them. You're no straight pissing on them. Cause I'm tired. Time they step into the ring, I've done the same thing. I'll be fired. I'm feeling underappreciated. I'm feeling underappreciated. You think I ain't got nothing to be mad about? But you be steady using my whole name for clout. I'm feeling underappreciated. Such a double standard, the things they do. Running around in Boston, everybody around cause of you. Mind your manners, please, before I get an attitude. And at that point, who gon' check me? Yeah, I'm snitching on them. This song sneak dissing on them. You're no straight pissing on them. Cause I'm tired. Time they step into the ring. Cause if I've done the same thing, what you think? I'll be fine. flowers. Time I got mine too. Walk around nose in the air, all because of you. I can't take it no more, so I gotta let you know. Oh, I deserve my respect. Baby, cut my check. Saying it again, in case you wasn't listening. Deserve some respect. Baby, cut my check. I ain't finished yet. Listen to what the song says. I'm feeling underappreciated. I'm feeling underappreciated. You think I ain't got nothing to be mad about? Like you be steady using my whole name for clout. I'm feeling underappreciated.